Bruh. This playlist is sounding a bit, hold on, let me just skip a bit forward, maybe. Ah. Now it's all quiet. It's not loading for some reason. Come on. Why is it YouTube does this with, okay. YouTube does this with videos that have either less views or from channels with less subscribers. The videos never load as well in those channels. Listen to that. You can just fall asleep to that. Just gotta already started the stream. I'm about to fall asleep. Okay, let me see, what's this? No, wait, I need something. Maybe this? Yeah, it's still chill, but slightly more upbeat, you could say. Yeah, that's good. Okay, earlier I was trying out this new mode. It's weird. I'll play a little bit of it. I played like 2 matches and I won both of them. Wait, what's that challenge? Oh. Okay, you earn stars. Are we gonna earn packs from this again? Like last time? That would be cool. Eh. Like, stuff is quiet. Okay. Yeah. EPG. Extorimo. Wait. Oh wait, this is... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say... Ah, my god. I was gonna say, oh, I wanted to play as Ash, but never mind. Because I got a teammate already doing that. So this game mode is really different. As you can see, it's third person. And you only get 2 weapons, the RPG and the sword. Possibly the 2... Oh shit, hello. Oh god. It's very weird to play Apex like this. Someone's dead. Okay. The shield. Get him. Get his ass. Oh, I almost hit him directly. Ow. I need to get up there. Eh. Look at me go. No, what? Come on, what the fuck? No. Oh shit. Oh boy. Oh, the ring is coming. Need to get out of here. Ooh. My god. What? I had the shield up. What the fuck? Isn't the shield supposed to deflect those shots? Man.
Mega pussy.
I swear. Gotta love that sound. Thanks for the follow. Hi Zoe. I'm doing quite alright. How about you? Okay, where are we going? Ooh. Oh shit. Oh boy, they're coming. Get him. Bully them. Oh my god. Okay. That's someone? What is that? It's weird how there's just no loot. This is all you get? No loot anywhere? The only thing that drops is just people's shields. That's it. There's someone up? Oh yeah. Ooh, actually hit me. Little shit. Let's cut up here. How am I actually going slightly up because I'm going up? No! Gotta wait for it to... There we go. Hmm. 3 other squads left. Oh shit, hell yeah. Let's go! Up! Oh! Okay, well... I'm coming! Or... Oh. Uh-oh. Come here! Oh god. Oh god! Oh god! Get him! There's 2 of them. Oh, you arrived, and there's another squad up there. We can still revive.
2 enemy squads remain. Shields are depleted. Recharging.
Oh boy. I think once this ring closes, we cannot revive anymore.
These ties bind.
Can we revive still? I don't know. Okay, it does say eliminated, so maybe not. Maybe that's it.
These ties bind.
I'm not sure how the revives work. And shit. Oh, it's raining. And once again, I forgot to get water before starting the stream. I always forget. Eh. I don't feel like getting water right now, because I'm not thirsty yet, so I'll get some later. That car has no windows, what the fuck? Is that normal? God, this fucking rain. I hate the rain because it's just... You guys cannot hear it, thankfully. But for me, it's so loud. Because the roof that's over me is made out of metal. So the rain hitting it, it's so loud. God.
You know, I don't take myself too seriously. I don't take myself anywhere, really. Man, I need to get out more. Walter speaks yours at your bloody service.
Man, well, it's going. You know how it is. There are people landing over the... What the fuck? Don't know what that boost was. Oh. Oh boy. Let's see if I hit someone up there. Oh. Well, that sucks. Why is there an enemy all the way up there, next to him? Pretty sure no one landed over there, right? I don't know. What's that? What is that? Ooh. Oh boy. What? How the fuck? How does that work? I started swinging first. Is it because they were still... Oh, wait, I think I know why. Because they were... what the fuck am I? No. They were recharging their shields. So I hit them once. It's still... I don't know. Oh my god. Come in. Oh man.
This is the best part. We just killed us the kill leader. On your squaddies. Enemy killed. Reloading.
Oh boy. Oh. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god. Reload quick. Oh my god, I'm gonna we're all together. Oh, there's someone right there. Wait, that's a down one? What?
Enemy killed. I took care of it, don't worry.
Okay. What is that? Okay. Yong. Oh my god. The lock on that.
TikTok, 10 seconds. Think the ring's close.
There's the rest. Yeah, I forgot we can do that. No, I do not. Do not want any. Where are they? I thought they were... I think he just hurt himself.
Knuckle sandwich.
Are they in there?
Getting hurt over here.
Wait, what?
Up, down.
Okay. Alright. Walks menacingly.
You are the Apex champions.
Hello. Oh, by the way, let me just take care of something here. Just do this. There we go. Okay. I know that names look weird. Anyway, hello. Had to ban a someone that came before you guys. Yeah. God. Just going. Trying out this new mode. I don't know why, but I played it before the stream today. And the only 2 games I played, I won both of them, and now this was my second game and I won it. So I don't know what it is about this mode, but I seem to be winning a lot. Oh, I just noticed there's only 18 players on these matches. Yeah! Killing it, mate. Absolutely bonkers, yeah. Oh, that's the same teammate I had, I think. Yeah, the Mirage. Nice. Oh yeah, that's the new Mirage, what's it called? The new Mirage special skin, mythic skin, I think it's called. Something like that. Like the wall running from that, yeah. Unfortunately, they... Was it even a thing last Halloween? I don't think... Was it? I don't know. But yeah, they need to bring him back in some way instead of just being in that one Halloween event. Oh, hey. Come in. Oh god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? Why did I die in 3 hits? What the fuck? At least an Ultium, yeah. Or the other one. Really? Jesus Christ.
We'll be caught outside the ring if we don't move.
I'm the kill leader. How about that?
I've elevated my skills.
So they all dead, or? Oop. Ah.
There goes the champion.
Someone there. Oh. Oh.
Reloading. I think this place needs a little
See him.
me. Shoot the clock. Down's an enemy.
Where'd he go? Oh, I see him.
I think this place needs a little more me. Yeah. Reloading.
God damn it. Stop running away from me, boy.
Send it out
Oh my god. Ooh. After him. I don't have any. Trying to hit me with a sniper? That's not gonna work, buddy.
An enemy cannot be taught.
Nope.
Reloading.
Checking out this area.
Alright, let's go. Again. Whoa! God damn.
Got one here.
Recharging shields. Taking hits.
Reloading.
Ow.
Damn, he's good looking.
This will bind them.
Come on. Why did he get shields? What the fuck? Did you see that? Why did he get shields back? What is doing that?
Our squad mate was weak.
Oh my god.
Now it's only us.
I don't get how this mode works.
I have sharpened my skills.
Oh god. Oh boy.
Follow the leader.
What? Who just hit me?
Recharging shields.
Um.
We have 10 seconds. Move with purpose. Opening fire. Multiple enemies down. And they win. I have caught them.
Get him.
Enemy shield cracked.
Pitiful. Allowing themselves to be caught.
Enemy killed.
God damn, what is this thing made of?
Ring is closing. It ends now.
Oh.
So, I save you now, and you're on armor duty for the week. That seems fair.
Oh god. Hey, what?
Enemy shield. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this means you're on cleaning duty for a month. That was the last one.
Oh.
I tried. It worked. Hey now, another squad coming in.
Oh god.
Let's move that way.
Yeah.
Get up. Let her get me killed. Focus.
Uh.
Best you again. Taking fire.
I don't have the thing. I really don't get how the sword works. I did not play around with it a lot at all.
I got everything under control. Reloading.
Well done. This squad is better for your efforts.
Shots fired, and they're hitting me. Giving my shield to recharge. Reloading.
Try to hit me.
Taking damage. Shields are depleted. Recharging. Finding them. Got them. They should have run faster. Not caught. Like a rat in a trap. Enemy shield cracked.
Oh, don't run. Ha.
The entire squad.
What now?
falls.
Who's left?
Get ready. We only have one squad left.
Who's hiding? Come on, little rats.
Bam! There goes a booze old dirty. Something like that.
Oh. Oh.
Shield cracked.
I was trying. I was seeing what they were gonna do. Look at that.
You are the Apex champions.
Very nice. There goes my dog again burping. Huh. Jesus, this dog, man, I swear. Only wins on the alpha booty. Only wins on this channel. Yes. Yes.
You're fortunate. I have much to teach you.
That skin, that's Wraith skin, reminds me of a fucking
I have chosen.
lady from the new Devil May Cry anime, doesn't it?
I'm at max level.
Fucking lady.
Target landed near me. Bold move. And fatal. They will be conquered.
Haha. Oop.
Caught like a rat in a trap.
Recharging my shield.
Recharging
Uh-oh.
shields.
It's 2v1, this should be fine, right? No. Ow. Why did I get a debuff?
Cut down an enemy. One, they pitiful, allowing themselves to be caught. Recharging shields. Recharging my shields. One less enemy.
Nice work.
Seen that one. You know, I recommend it. People that like the games, for example, I like the games, but a lot of people that do like the games, they keep complaining about the anime, so like, oh, this is nothing like the games, and Dante is so weak compared to the games, what is this shit? Well. Honestly, oh my god, is that my previous teammate? Do you gain a shield? Is that it? I think you gain a shield when you do this. Yeah, you do. Okay, that's what it is.
Enemy shield broken.
I see.
Shields recharging.
Yeah, I recommend watching it. It's good.
Found by my hand.
Is there someone there? Nope. Fans of the original will always find something they don't like in the adaptation for anything. Yeah. Honestly, I would say, considering how adaptations usually go, I would say this one is pretty good. Like, sure, there were a couple things that even myself, I was kind of like, I wish they could have done this differently, but honestly, I say it was pretty alright. Like, yeah, I'm very sad that they didn't get the voice, like the voice they use for Dante is the guy who voices Nero in the games, so that is very weird to hear. But you know, you just gotta get used to it, I guess. And then I was also sad that they used a different voice actor for Virgil. You know, since Virgil is my favorite character and all that, I was kind of sad that they didn't use his VA, but oh well. That's the main things I was sad about.
The champion has proved unworthy of the name.
And also they even stated that the anime is not supposed to be it's not supposed to be canon to the games or anything like that, so
Judging by this, your survival decades ago was a scientific anomaly. Enemy killed.
and for the whole VA cast. Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't get the original voice actors. I'm really not sure what was the reason behind that. Since they've been voicing those characters for more than a decade.
I shattered an enemy's shield. A second squad. Adjust your strategy.
Get me out of here.
Stay ready. Reloading. Target spotted. These ties bind. Recharging shields. That's the final ring. Closing in.
Oh boy. Ow.
Taking damage. Not so fast.
Some different people.
Time to bind you.
I don't know. It's weird.
Taking damage.
Hmm.
Shields are depleted. Recharging.
Oh boy. How's that doing no damage? Oh, that's my teammate. What? What the fuck? They look like an enemy. What? Their name wasn't there or anything. There we go.
Let's put you in a bind. Enemy shield cracked. Time to bind.
Get over here. Oh shit. Hold on, just gonna do this first.
Recharging shield.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Let's put you in a bind.
Ah. Come here.
Cut down an enemy. Judging by this,
God.
your survival decades ago was a scientific.
Get him.
Shields are depleted. Recharging.
On your feet, darling. Plenty of fight left in you.
Oh god.
Boy jumping. Hostile right
Eliminate the enemy. So many enemies.
Boy.
None stood a chance against bound by my hand.
Get out of here. So fast. Ugh.
A second squad. Adjust your strategy.
Okay. We're good, we're good.
Depleted. Recharging.
Oh, that is the wrong place to put the portal. Fuck. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes my sword just does not hit them. It's supposed to have a crazy amount of what do you call it? I don't know, it's just supposed to lock onto them like crazy. But sometimes it just doesn't work. I don't know why. Hella potatoes. I don't know what those are, but they sound good. I'm gonna search that up. Ooh. Oh my god, it's these kind of... Oh, those are so good. What the fuck? Ah. Haven't had something like that in a while. That is very good. I am jealous. Man. Having that with some cod. Oh. Beautiful mix right there.
Perceptive, resourceful, relentless. You must be all these things, shall we?
Honestly, Ashe is definitely the best legend for this mode by far. Because of two things.
An upgrade.
Honestly, all of her abilities are really good for this, but
The maximum level.
the passive is really good to dodge the EPG shots. And then the tactical is really good. Because you just get someone stuck and boom, it's so easy to kill them.
Skills. Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Obviously the ultimate's pretty good too. Just to go somewhere really fast.
Far. Best make like an astronaut deserting a friend and go.
Ooh.
I shattered an enemy's shield. Taking damage.
Get him!
Shield cracked.
Shields recharging.
Oh wait, I got him?
Cut down an enemy.
I didn't even notice that
Recharging.
I shot a shot there. Oh boy.
Got a blood sport. So bloody.
Get out of here.
This fight isn't over. Get up.
Oh my god, oh my god,
One less enemy.
oh my god. No. It's gonna
Teamwork makes the dream work. Right, Reed?
Reloading.
take a step back. Oh boy.
Got an EJ here.
Oh really? Oh shit, yeah.
Time to bind you.
Reload.
Reloading.
Ooh. Oh god. Ah, my type. Okay, I'm alive.
Enemy dead.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's fine. It's probably better. Can I land on top of this? I think I can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh.
An enemy's shield.
I'm getting out of here.
These ties.
I missed. Defend. Defend. Well, shit. Alright, let me actually go shoot some guns now. Ah yes, control, nice. Ah yes, my favorite. I love how Honk. Wait. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah. Oh. Fuck. Okay, we'll open that next. I love how this sword that they came out with, it's so fucking obvious that it was supposed to be Newcastle's heirloom, but since they've given up on Legend exclusive heirlooms, they were just like, yeah, let's just turn this into a universal heirloom. God. I wish they would still consider it his heirloom. They can still make it usable by everyone, but like, just give him special animations. I don't really, you know, it could have been the first heirloom that's a Legends heirloom, but is universal as well. And I think that's the best way to do it. That way they can still keep making Legend heirlooms and Universal heirlooms at the same time. Nah. Oh, whoops.
Throwing frag.
App. Too much APG, I cannot aim.
Shields are depleted. Recharging. Our zone has been captured. Do not let this stand. The zone is ours.
Need to recharge my shield.
Recharging shields.
Oh god.
The zone. These ties bind.
Hehe.
Recharging shields.
Need to recharge my shield.
Cutting a phase tear.
Phasing.
Oh, what the? Oh my god, I'm dead. This came sprinting out the door. Fucking maniac.
Frag out.
Hit the ejector seat.
Oh. Jesus.
They will be bound.
Setting a portal.
Who the fuck?
I set the portal.
Whoa, hey, Jesus, okay. My bad. Christ, man.
Void jumping. Need to recharge my shield.
Charging up my shields.
Another tool I have mastered.
Look out, grenade. Need to recharge
Wait, still alive? What? What the fuck is going on?
Recharging shields.
Wait.
We have neutralized the zone. Pried it from our enemy's grasp.
Nice.
They got his own? It won't last.
The zone is ours. Well done, Marines.
Oh my god.
Our zone has been neutralized.
Need to recharge my shield.
Oh Jesus.
Themselves to be caught.
Oh Jesus.
Throwing frag. Sending an arc star.
Need to recharge my shield.
Goddamn weapons upgrading. What the?
Time to bind you.
Oh. Yeah, all the zones. What the hell is this jump out?
Tear through.
Nope. See, that is not where I aimed.
Not so fast. Time to bind you.
Arcstar. Throw in Arcstar.
I'll try that.
Frag out.
Point jumping.
Rápido, rápido.
Need to recharge my shield.
These bonds aren't easily broken. Pitiful, allowing themselves to
Ooh.
be caught. We have half the points needed to win.
Man.
Shields are depleted. Recharging.
Oh, hold on. Look at this. Perfect. Not so perfect sight, but it's fine.
Our zone has been neutralized.
I cannot see.
Redeemers. Shields are depleted. Recharging.
Oh. Oh, hey. Bruh.
Shields are depleted. Recharging. Frag out.
Get him. Madam Nade.
Sending an arc star.
Oh my god. What? God. What? What the fuck? No! Alright.
Rumors of my demise.
You can now give me the reward for ass. Sucks ass.
They neutralize the zone.
Man.
You can always
Setting a portal.
What?
charge in shields. Come on, come on.
Uh-oh.
Pitiful, allowing
Look out, grenade.
Ah. Me. Walter.
Faster, faster, faster.
they will be bound. Throwing frag.
Oh, that was just for me? Oh my god. But I'm not there anymore.
Heads up. They got a zone.
Time to bind you. Caught with no way out. Shields are
Ooh.
depleted. Recharging.
What you gonna do?
Look out, grenade. Point running.
Ooh.
Push properly.
The fucking slide. I'm so dead.
Tear. Recharging shields.
No, no way. We killed each other. Way.
Rumors.
Throwing our boy jumping.
Rumors.
Pathetic. Caught with no way out.
Oh. What? Okay.
You are the Apex champions.
Chernobyl. What? I wonder. There goes my dog again, man. This damn dog. No respect, I swear to God. What is that? What is that? Hold on, what does that mean?
Today smells like victory. I love pretending to smell. Sniff, sniff.
Got that voice in your head. Trust it.
Thank you, Tint. Your skin sucks. Ow.
Recharging shields.
Recharging shields.
Need to recharge my shields.
Oh boy. Oh, that's just... that is sad. I hit like 2 bullets. What was that?
I would say thanks, but I brought myself.
Man.
Might have caught them. Recharging shields.
Oh god, what is happening? Somebody... The aim gods are sabotaging... Actually, no, it's... I can't even talk today. What? It's worse than usual.
Need to recharge my shields.
What the fuck? Okay, good.
Recharging shields.
How dare you?
Need to recharge my shields.
Chill. Eh. I really... Oh god. I need some water. That's what I need. Starting to realize that. Bruh.
Allowing themselves to be caught.
Giving my shields a recharge.
Oh god. What? I swear. I did all that and I was about to get killed by them. Ash. Leave me alone. God damn it. This. Oh. I'm playing against some gamers on this match, Jesus. The fuck? Christ. I'm completely surrounded. But that's not funny. Ow. Why is there someone hiding on the corner there? What? Here we go again. I was about to get killed by what is going on? Why are these people so good? Christ. Chill. Oh my god. Get me out of here, please. Please. No. Get me. Oh. Huh. Okay. Ooh. There we go. Oh. Ow.
I ran away from the light. Must go faster.
Oh. The light on this one's so... Oh, that's a nice kill cam. Oh boy. Okay. Let's open that pack. It's raining again. What am I gonna get? Did I finally get a... No way! After like 2 years, I finally got a legendary from an event. Wow. And I don't even like the skin. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. But the one I have is already better. I mean, I like this one more. I feel it looks more unique. Plus, you know, reactive and all. So... me. Okay, I'm gonna be back in a bit. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, get some water. Oh. Okay. Alright, I'll be right back. Ooh. Got some water. Okay. I must say that's gonna be enough Apex 4 now. I did want to go on I was thinking going on Judged to explore a little spooky world that I found. And maybe just chill a bit there after, I don't know. Okay. Fucking hell. Man, okay. Okay, I'm sorry, hold on, just give me a sec. Okay. Oh, my phone is going off. For absolutely no reason. Oh. System apps. Okay. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? What did that say? Bruh, I mean, I guess this doesn't really matter, but I just got a notification to update my music app on my phone, like the music app that comes with the phone. And I clicked install because, you know, it's just, you see an update, you just click install by reflex. But then I started reading the description, and it says, users in Europe should not install this update. I am in Europe. And then it says, this version removed online features from some European regions. If you're a user in Europe, skip this update. I'm gonna open it and check. By online features, I mean, I don't... Whatever online features this music app has, I do not use them. So... I mean, I rarely even use this app to begin with. Okay, it still has ads. I was hoping that the online features would be the ads that would be removed, but I guess that would never happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they mean by that. I guess I don't care about it. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I've been so fucking low on energy, cause my mind has been... Hold on, let me just switch the category real quick. Maybe the title too. There you go. I don't know. It's just, I've been so fucking low on energy because... fine, I'll talk about it. I've talked about before how I'm currently unemployed, right? Fortunately. You know, I still looking, still waiting for someone to take me in. But yeah, I've been super fucking stressed out because I got shit to pay every month because last year I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get a motorcycle and I'm gonna get a new one. which was quite expensive, and I had to ask the bank to help me pay like half of it. Actually, a bit more than half, but yeah. And because of that, I haven't paid off the loan yet. And so, as you would expect, I pay it every month. And this month was the last month that I was able to pay for. Basically, what I'm saying is I've run out of money. All the money that I had accumulated from my previous job, it's pretty much gone. There's very little left. What I have left is not enough to pay the next month. I don't know. I might be able to still play one more month with some help, but I mean, it still feels bad because, you know, I'm having someone help me by giving me some money, and I hate doing that. But I mean, at this point, I've been trying to find a job, but it's just so hard to find a job that I can do. It's not like I have like any kind of disability per se. Like not any physical one. At least. It's just okay, my problem is I didn't finish high school, right? I don't have any kind of degree or in anything. I left school when I was still in 11th grade, so right at the end of 11th grade, so pretty much I only had 1 year left, but I was at a point where I was doing really fucking badly mentally, and this was in 2021 when I left school. And I just had to leave it at that point because I was absolutely miserable mentally wise. And I just couldn't, you know, I was starting to skip school days. I was not able to concentrate on anything anymore. Like all I could think of was I want to get out of here. And I mean, I couldn't, I did, because I was over 18. And if you're over 18, you can choose to leave school. So I don't know. I've thought about options to at least finish, have like some kind of things to say like, oh yes, I have up to 12th grade at least, you know, high school, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. I just I just have I guess, okay, at this age, if I were to do something like that, it would be a completely different experience from your usual school experience, because I wouldn't go to a normal school at this age, obviously. I don't know. I don't know. To be fair, I haven't really looked too much into it, like the options I have right now for that. I feel like the options that there would require me to at least have some money for it, which I don't. It's just dumb. I don't know. I find it dumb. At least the school I was in, pretty much all of that we had to learn, we learned in those 2 years. Because the last year, I'm pretty sure we were just gonna keep having normal classes for a few months, and then the rest of the year would just be what do you call it? Fuck. What's the word? I think it would be something like be like an intern. Is that what you... Yeah, intern somewhere. Because the school I was at, it was like a, they call it like a professional school or something. It's not like a normal school. It's a private school, which they actually pay you to be there. Just weird. I don't know. It's a weird thing to me. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it was a pretty small school. The teachers were they were all right, you know. No real complaints about the teachers there. I don't know. I think what got me the most was that I didn't really talk with anyone there, and I don't know, to make it worse is that it was not the first year in a row that had happened. It had been pretty much the third year in a row in school that I just did not really have anyone to talk to, and that really was so fucking, like, it was terrible. Because before that, I had always had at least someone to hang out with most of the time at school, as you usually would. You know, most people at least have one person they talk to in school, right? And they hang out with. Actually, no. I think it was more than... Now that I think about it, it was pretty much like 4... Or maybe, I don't know. Okay, I was in that last school for 2 years, but the first year, there was one person that I would talk to and hang out with for most of the year. The problem is, I remember I would just hang out with them because they were the only person that would talk to me, but I remember I didn't really... I don't know, I just did not relate to them at all. I just remember I would hang out with them because, you know, they were the only person who cared. Minimally. At least hang out with me. But yeah, it didn't really feel like I had a friend at that time because they were a completely different person from me. I don't know. I just couldn't really get along with them too well. Man, I don't know. But yeah, all that time of me, I guess, feeling alone, you could say, led me to ultimately coming to the conclusion like, yep, I cannot do this anymore, and just left school. I still remember the day I decided on it. It was a day where I had a full day of school ahead, you know, in the morning and afternoon. I think until like 6 p.m. Something like that. I think I had classes from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. that day. A full day. I remember lunchtime arrived, and I was like, fuck this. I'm leaving, and I'm not returning. I'm done with this shit. And at the time I was actually driving to school some of the days. I had my car, my driving license. I grabbed the car that I took, and I just fucked off. I just fucking left. God, I still remember the drive home was... I don't know, it felt super weird. I felt super nervous. So I was like, oh, well, like, what the fuck, what am I gonna tell my parents? Because they didn't know that I was thinking in leaving school. And also, to make it worse, I remember that exact day, my brother had come over to have lunch, which I didn't know. And I guess my parents did not tell me because I wasn't even gonna have lunch at home that day, because You know, I was supposed to be at school. So when I arrived home, I mean, I was already super fucking stressed out, as you would imagine. Because I had made such a big decision. And I already was super stressed out because I was trying to think how the fuck I was gonna tell my parents that. And so when I arrived home and I noticed my brother was there too, it's like, oh, and by the way, my brother's like a lot older than me. He's like, I think he's gonna be 40 this year. So he is, you know, really, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, let me see. My brother and my sister, right? I have a brother and a sister. They're both a lot older than me. My sister is 9 years older than me, and my brother is, even older. He's almost 40, as I mentioned. And so, since they're a lot older than me, they, you know, and I'm the youngest of the three, they kind of, I don't know, they kind of treat me as, they're always trying to, tell me, like, what I should be doing, and oh, you need to do this, you do that, or you can't be doing this. It's just, I don't know if you get what I mean. It's just, they're trying to, I'm aware they're trying to help, but a lot of times it really doesn't, because a lot of times it just feels like that's all they do is trying to tell me what I should be doing, or trying to reprimand me because, oh, you shouldn't do that or do this. Like, sometimes I just miss when I was younger, and you know, we were just to goof around, and now it's just, it feels like most of the time they're just reprimanding me and telling me what I should be doing. It's like, oh god, can't we just chill down for a sec? All that just makes me not want to talk to them, which I hate feeling like that. I hate feeling like I don't want to talk to my own siblings. Where was I? Oh yeah, on that day. Hello. On that day, I remember I arrived home and I was planning on telling my parents that that was my last day on school, that I was not going to be returning. But since my brother was there, I was thinking, fuck it, abort plan. I'm just going to tell them that I got off early, because it was kind of rare, but it had happened before when I would get off early from school for whatever reason. It was like, I don't know, a teacher was there or whatever. So I just told him, oh yeah, I'm here because I got off early. Yeah. And I remember they were kind of doubtful. I don't know, maybe I didn't sound convincing. But I mean, at least from what I remember, I'm pretty sure I did not tell them that day. Right? I told him soon after. I think it might have been later in the day after my brother was gone. I don't know. God. Yeah, I still don't know. I still don't know if I'm ever gonna decide to finish 12th grade. I know there's ways, I've heard there's ways of doing it in a smaller amount of time, instead of taking like 3 years, maybe like 6 months, I think. Gotta go right for a guy. Alrighty, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Let me do this. You guys finishing school? Yeah. I'm aware it would at least help a little bit in finding jobs, because even though the things that I would learn in school would not matter at all for the job that I would be taking. You know, they're still like, oh, we're looking for people who have at least 12th grade. I don't know, I hate it. At least, okay, there's jobs that don't care about that they'll still take people in even if they don't have that. I've literally been in jobs that didn't require that. There was one, the last one I was in actually, they would say that, oh yeah, you need a high school degree. I don't have one, but they still took me in, so that's a little tip for you guys in case you don't know. Some jobs, even though they say like, yeah, we require you to have a high school degree, a 12th grade, if it is a job that is pretty, you know, it's like a job that pretty much anyone can do, or most people can do, there's a there's a chance, at least, I'm not sure about high because it will depend on the company, but there's a chance that they'll still take you in even if you don't have a degree like that, like I don't have one. Yeah, you can always just still send to those places and they might still take you in. Oh god, why's my water thing so dirty? Ugh. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I was thinking you're going on VR chat, right, and see some spooky worlds, but I don't know. I don't think I have the energy in me for that today. we might just I don't know, go watch some videos, some spooky stories maybe instead. Might leave that for another day. How long have I been live for? An hour 30. We gotta make that at least 2 hours. At the very least. Okay. Dude, fucking TikTok is crazy. I swear to god. You know, last time when last stream when I was watching some Mr. Ballin videos, I've never ever seen a Mr. Ballin TikTok show up on my feed on that app ever. But after that stream, literally on the day after, I got a video. I got a fucking TikTok from that from him, from his account. Bro, what the fuck? Phone, stop listening to me. God. Fucking. This goddamn phone is spying on me. Should I do a little test? Let me see. What does not ever show up on my feed? Something random. Ooh, I have an idea. This might work. Because it kind of falls into the content I get. I mean, not kinda, it really does. I'm sure you guys know. Let me make sure my my phone mic is aimed towards me. See if it works. Anyway, I was gonna say, some of you might might know, Iron Mouse, right? She's like, I mean, she's only like the biggest VTuber on the platform. But yeah, I've been watching some videos, some clips, because Connor CDog VA, he's doing another cyclothon, which for those that don't know, it's something that they've been doing every year to raise money for charity for the fuck, what's it called? Fucking it's like the immune deficiency something. I forgot, but it's the charity that helps people that have that, right? Yeah, I've been watching a bit of that. It's pretty cool to see them raise so much money for that. It's really crazy. I think they raised a bit over 50,000 on the first day. I'm not sure how long they're gonna do it for. I think it's for a week. I think usually it's for a week. And I think last year they raised over 1 million. I wasn't even aware of that. I guess I forgot, I don't know. But holy shit, a million monies for that. Christ. That's insane. I mean, that must have helped a lot, right? That's a lot of money. But yeah, it's just fucking crazy. See what they're... Okay. But yeah, it's funny because Iron Mouse is pretty much the only VTuber that I ever watch. I don't watch her that often, but still, she's pretty much the only one I watch from time to time. I don't know. That's just quite a long, like some years ago, I used to watch a bit of Nieners as well. I think she was the first VTuber that I watched. I'm not sure. I don't know. I kind of just stopped watching. Not really for any reason, you know. Sometimes you just stop watching someone that you used to watch. Yeah, I'm not really going anywhere with that. That's it. Fucking... Trying to think. Fuck. Trying to think if I could think of anything else to talk about. Brain is so empty though. Hope. Can I just stare into nothing and just stream like this? Can I just do that? That would be peak stream material, right? The staring. I see you. I see you there, buddy. Not running away from me, boy. Oh yeah, also. Okay, I remembered something. I don't know if did I talk about it? I definitely did on last stream. I definitely did. I did talk about Marathon. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Okay. Thinking. You know what? I think I'll just pull up a video and let me just do that. What's that? Oh, fuck. Bruh. There goes my dog again. Whoa. Alright, how about this? What the fuck?
Today, I'm going to tell you...
What is that? Why does it keep switching to this window? What is happening?
Today, I'm going to tell you...
Shut. Okay. And... Music. Stop. God. Now we go. Time to move myself. Get this. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, okay, there you go. Nice, nice, very nice. We good. And now we get the fucking okay. There we go. Boom. Time to relax for a little bit.
Today, I'm going to tell you 3 stories, and at the end of each of them, I'm going to show you the
that
haunting
League?
photo or photos
Oh yeah, League is definitely a haunting.
that are famously associated with them. But before we get into those stories, if you're a fan of the Strange, Dark, and Mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload once a week. So if that's of interest to you, the next time you're at the Like Button's house, please secretly sneak into their fridge and replace all of their vanilla ice cream with mashed potatoes. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's stories.
You have a real question? What's your real question? Luigi Mangio. Who's this? Why do I feel like I've seen this person before? A hero? What happened? Why is it in... Wait, why is this... Why is my thing in Portuguese right now? Give me English. How do I switch to English? Fucking, I don't know. Luigi. Death penalty. Why? Okay, it's because I'm in fucking private, what's it called? Private window. For some reason it defaulted to Portuguese. Kill the USA healthcare. CEO? Oh. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But why? Okay. Let me see if I can switch this. There we go. See if this works. So, okay, wait. If I check my normal browser. Yeah, my normal browser is just... Things aren't in English, so I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. Smash or pass. That is a good... Okay. Yeah, okay, I won't bother looking into whatever happened. I don't know. Not really. I don't know. If you want me to... Okay, I don't know if I don't know what answer I would give. You know. At first glance, it doesn't really strike me as the type that I would give the Smash answer. But it kind of depends on other stuff. Healthcare is so expensive in the USA. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of how people literally don't want to call an ambulance because it's just way too expensive. Oh, but YouTube is in English. Oh my god, I swear to god. The CEO calls that. Really? Well, I guess that would maybe make sense. I don't know. Oh, those insurance claims. Ooh. I see. That's crazy that he actually managed to, you know, do that to an important person. Crazy. Well, let's see how things change after that, I guess. I don't know, it's just... For some reason, I doubt that much will change. I don't know, it just feels like even if one person dies, one person that did have impact on those stuff, it feels like... I don't know, it feels like things don't really even change after that, but I don't know. We can only hope for the best, I guess. I think I defend... Yeah, I get that. It's like... Personally, I don't know. I wouldn't ever defend someone for killing someone, but... Just have to get rid of more CEOs. You know what, let's just put them all in a battle royale and make them fight. Make them fight each other. That's what I say that we need to do with the presidents. We need to just grab all the stupid presidents that want to go to war, and just like, yeah, you want to fight each other, then go fight each other. Literally, get your people out of this. Pay good money to watch that fight. Oh, it would be the best fight ever, I swear. God. Honestly, Trump and Putin, they should just get a room, bro. Just get a room and kiss each other. Only person that's actually in shape. Well, like, physically. I guess the president of Ukraine is, I think. But that's the only one I know. Yeah. Well, I guess also the president of my country. Um, like he's not. He's actually crazy in a way because even in the winter he goes out for swims in the ocean. There's a whole like news thing about that showing him just on the beach going for a fucking swim in the cold ass ocean. No idea who that is. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, this guy is very old. He's not really. I don't know. People don't really hate him much. This fucking. Oh yeah, there's a video of him polling Trump. Wait, I need to show that. There's a video of him because Trump, you know how he always polls people when doing a handshake. He knew about that, and when he was giving Trump a handshake, he did that to him instead. Wait, what's his name again? I forgot. Wait. Maybe I'll just search up by handshake. Is it this one? I think it's in this video that you see it. Wait. Let me see. Here we go. Watch this shit. You see him pull him? wait. Assert dominance. Boom. I think there's a better video of it. Wait. I think there's a better view. I'm not sure. As hard as people are shaking. God. I don't know, I felt like there was a better view of it, but I can't really find it. Anyway. How old? Fucking... That is not it. H. 76! Holy shit! Oh my god! No, it's not my birthday. My birthday was in January. Christ. 1948. How is this man alive? Isn't Biden 70? How old was Biden? Fuck. 82. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm aware Trump is the current president. I just 78. Christ. Look at that. Why are these people president? To be fair, at least in Portugal, as far as I'm aware, because I'm not really much of a politics person, other than slice. From what I know, the president definitely doesn't do as much as, for example, the president in the US does. I don't know, it's mostly the other people that do more. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. I'm not very into politics, so I don't know much. Have an idea? What? Music. I'm listening. Here's some water. If all candidates pass a basic IQ test. Yeah. I would actually like to see that. I would like to see I would like to see an IQ test from all the presidents. Minimum IQ for to be a president. This number, and then they get a score that's way below. I don't know. How smart are you? I think I do remember one time I did an online IQ test. Obviously, it's not like a real IQ test, but I think I got like 109 or something. I think, I don't know. At least I remember it was like very slightly above average. That's good. Yes, 109. I mean, it said I was like very slightly above average. I think the average it said it was like 105 or 107. It was just very, very slightly above average. Pretty much average, I guess. But again, it was just an online test. Nine. Actually, you know what? They might be wrong. They must be wrong. My IQ must be 9 and more.
At 10 p.m. on
Man,
January 31st,
it's
2012,
100.
a 23-year-old man named Chen
Average 100.
Rongyu
Hey, there you go.
walked into an internet cafe
I'm
in
9.
Taipei City, Taiwan. The cafe had a front counter where a
I'm 9
cashier
points above
would
average.
sell you snacks and drinks, and then from where he was looking, behind the
Super
cashier
smart.
were all these tables, these long rows of tables with different computer stations at them. And there was at least about 30 people already sitting behind each of these terminals, fully engrossed in whatever game or whatever they were doing on the internet. And not one of these people even looked up when Chen walked inside. I mean, nobody was interested in Chen. But for Chen, that was sort of part of the allure of this cafe. He got to, sit down and play his game and be totally left alone. And so Chen walked up to the counter and paid for some time. He also bought a soda, and then he walked around back.
course.
He found an empty computer, sat down, and immediately fired up his favorite game, League of Legends.
Oh god.
League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena game that's extremely popular all over the world. And Chen took this game very seriously. He routinely
Right.
would spend 8-hour-long marathon sessions at this internet cafe just playing League of Legends to try to level up and move up in the ranking system. And
Whatever is about to happen to this guy, I'm just saying, deserved.
so today, that's what Chen was going to do. And so after the game was
Should have been playing League of
he
Legends.
immediately locked in, and he was in his first battle. And then before long, hours had gone by, and he hadn't even gotten up. And then eventually, a couple times he got up to get a soda refill and to get a snack. But, I mean, he basically
Bathroom?
just all night gamed, just nonstop, periodically stopping to literally put his head down on the table and take a 15-minute power nap, only to
What?
get right back up and get back into the game. And so all night, he's just on this game. By a little afternoon,
Like to see my
February
insults
1st,
on to
Chen
Raymond?
had been
Yes.
gaming nearly nonstop for 14 hours.
Oh my
which was
god.
long even by his standards, but he couldn't stop now. He was exhausted.
Made of
but he was feeling
potassium,
great. This is like one of the best sessions he's
yttrium,
ever
and
had, right at that
sulfur? I do
moment,
not know
he was
what
in the middle of
yttrium
this
is,
really
but
intense match where his team
okay.
was about to get knocked out by this really good opponent, and if Chen could just lock in, they could.
okay. I misspelled it. Potassium. Okay. Wait. I already know what's gonna be. I don't. It's gonna be a Y and an S for the other two, right? I don't know. Check. You know, it just because of that, I'll check. There's the Y. Yep. 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 Could see that coming from a mile away. There's my 109 IQ, baby. Maybe if it was 110, I would have seen it coming without even searching it up. Maybe. It's just what that 1 point would do.
Pull out a win. And so Chen was super focused, leaned
Nice one,
forward,
though. Nice
hands
one.
flying across his keyboard.
Make them
mouse.
search it up.
He managed to dodge an attack, and then he geared up for the big strike. And right as he did, something went wrong. About 9 hours later, around 9 p.m., the cashier at this internet cafe had just finished giving another soda to one of the customers, and then they looked out and she noticed there was nobody else in line. Now, the job of this cashier was not just to check people in and give them snacks and drinks. It was also to
Wisdom of a sack of yellow
also
potato.
critically to periodically make rounds and kick people out once their time had expired. Because oftentimes a lot of these gamers would get sucked into their games, lose track of time, and basically end up playing for longer than they'd actually paid for. So the cashier grabbed her clipboard with all the information about each of the customers and how long they had paid for, and then she began making her rounds in the back. And part of it was she needed to speak basically to all the people that were there and kind of confirm that they were supposed to be here still. But as she walked into the back, per usual, nobody looked up at her. I mean, all these people at all their terminals were heads down, fully focused on their game. I mean, completely.
What are they playing?
And so
Oh, the screen is way too bright.
Yeah.
What is that? Hold on.
heads down,
Okay, on the right here, I can already tell that's fucking League. On the right there.
fully
But what is on the...
focused
Is it Overwatch?
on their game. I
Kinda.
mean, completely
No, wait.
immersed.
What is that?
And so she
I have no idea. Overwatch.
began.
I think it is. Yeah, I think
going,
it's...
one person to the next, being like, hey, are you good? Did you pay for your time? Are you going to be here any bit longer? And a lot of these guys, they'd finally look up and be totally shocked she's even standing next to them because they weren't paying attention at all. But, one by one, she checked each of the monitors, and eventually she got to Chen. And when she got to Chen was focused on this game entirely to the point where when she said, hey, your time is up. You've been here for 24 hours. You paid for, 8 or 9 or whatever it was. Chen didn't even look up at her. I mean, nothing she could do could get Chen to even acknowledge her. He was so focused on the game. And so eventually the cashier, out of frustration, was like, hey, and she kind of tapped his shoulder, and Chen leaned back. And when he did, and the cashier got a good look at him, she screamed. It would turn out, until this very moment, Chen had gotten his wish. He had come to this cafe 24 hours earlier and been totally left alone. He got to exclusively just play his game
What
in
happened
his
to him?
own world. In fact, the whole time he was here, no one had even looked at him.
Wait, what? It would take a team of 300,000 engineers working for nearly 10 years to design a vehicle to plumb the crushing depths of my disappointment in you right now. How's that for an insult? That's a lot of words. God damn.
Because if
I give it a... Yeah, that's my rating. I don't...
they had, they would have seen something was horribly wrong. It was the cashier who walked over to him and tapped on his shoulder who noticed what was wrong. Here's what the cashier saw. This is a picture of Chen, and Chen is in full rigor mortis because 9 hours earlier, when he was in the middle of that really intense fight with that opponent who was about to beat Chen and his team, Chen, he got really excited and he was about to land that big strike that potentially could have been the blow that would have won the match.
Right.
He was so amped up that Chen had a heart attack and died.
I mean, because I'm currently as malleable as fucking clay. What does that even mean? Man, my brain is way too dead to understand stuff.
And for the 9
Had it-
hours after
oh.
he died, when he was still in the same position he was in playing the game, nobody noticed. He just sat there appearing to be fully alive, locked into the game like everybody else, but he was actually dead. And so it wasn't until the cashier tapped Chen on the shoulder and he rocked backwards, still in his gaming position, but because he's in rigor mortis, his hands kind of jutted out in
My
front of
God.
him up into the air, that she realized he was actually dead. Chen's family would
Imagine dying playing League of Legends. That must be the worst way to go. I'm sorry. It should not be. Yeah. I shouldn't joke about it too much. How long ago was this?
later say that he had pre-existing heart issues that very
Huh.
likely contributed to his fatal heart attack.
It's like the most horrible way I've heard of someone die.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. As the weather warms up and the days get longer, it can be exciting.
Perfect
On
shot.
the afternoon
Okay.
of October 11th, 2023, a 48-year-old man named Samuel Gomez stood in the lobby of the Moxie Hotel in Portland.
Men in the ancient world die because a hawk dropped a turtle on his head? Now that's funny. What? Watch me die tomorrow because that same exact thing happened. I feel like I've heard about that. I don't know why, but I feel like I've
Oregon,
I've
talking
heard
to the
that.
concierge. Samuel had flown in from Phoenix earlier that morning because he was speaking at a conference in Portland later that week.
because
But
I
for
hope
now,
drop
he was
it.
just gonna go out and enjoy the sights, and so he had asked the concierge to give him some local recommendations.
Imagine.
The concierge named a few cool local places.
Imagine
Samuel
just
thanked him.
you're just walking around, just doing your usual ooga boogas, and then BAM! You turn around to face your buddy. There's a turtle on the ground, kind of like, "Ugh!" And then your buddy's just laying down. And you're like, imagine going to heaven and you have to explain. I mean, would he even be able to explain? It's be like, how did I die? And then they would tell, oh, a turtle fell on your head. And he's like, since when can turtles fly? Most confusing fucking.
And then he headed out the front door onto the road. And as soon as Samuel was outside, he immediately heard this loud commotion happening right down the street. And he turned and looked in the direction, and he saw this kind of gaggle of people and cars sort of standing in
Gaggle.
what looked like a big circle around whatever was happening over there. Samuel couldn't tell what it was, but people were honking and people had their phones out filming sort of whatever was in the middle of the circle. And from the looks of it, it appeared there was at least one police officer in his car sort of beginning to marshal the scene and block traffic. But, there was just this chaotic scene happening, and Samuel really had no idea what it was. But naturally, being a human, he was interested. He wanted to see what was going on. And so Samuel began walking down the road, and as he did, he pulled out his phone, opened up his camera, and began filming and taking pictures. And as he got closer to whatever was going on here, the cacophony of horns and people yelling and all the chaos just got louder and louder, and it still wasn't clear at all to Samuel what the heck this even was. And so he just continued to take photos and just kind of be an onlooker. And at some point, when Samuel got right up close and actually was standing right near that police officer blocking traffic, he happened to turn his phone
Joey.
and aim his camera at the police officer. And And when he did, he took a photo. Here is the photo he took. As you can see, the police officer is aiming his gun directly at Samuel. And that's because this is not a police officer. Samuel just thought he was a police officer. When he looked down the road at this crazy scene, he saw this guy in a car who sort of appeared to be, maybe an undercover cop, sort of, in the right place at the right time, taking charge and handling whatever this was. When in reality, this man who's in this photo is a guy named Jeffrey Hammond who had just been involved in a road rage incident, and he shot and killed a 47-year-old man named Ryan Martin. That was the scene that Samuel had walked out to. Jeffrey Hammond shooting and killing Ryan Martin. That's what everybody was reacting to. And so as Samuel walked down the road not knowing that, he inadvertently stood right in front of the shooter, who was still sort of crazed, aimed his camera at him, right as Jeffrey Hammond swung his gun around and shot Samuel. So like literally seconds after this photo was taken, Samuel got shot.
More like
Luckily, though,
milliseconds,
Samuel
Jesus.
would survive the shooting.
Oh,
As for Jeffrey Hammond, he was arrested and charged with murder, and as far as we know, he is currently in jail awaiting trial.
how old is this video? Oh, 3 days ago. Hold on. Why does it keep... Why does the Automod keep saying, oh my god, someone said hold your Wii, we can't have that. What? Woman died during a radio contest called Hold Your Wii for... What? Contestants drink tons of water held in their urine? Oh, that... Yeah, that doesn't sound healthy at all. Jesus. 2007, huh? Christ. And then they say that fucking, oh, these fucking, I guess it's probably not as popular now, but all those YouTube trends that people would do that were dangerous. But apparently radios were also doing really fucking fucked up stuff. He was doing insane things back then. Wait, was it actually a thing from Nintendo? No way. Christ. That's insane.
On April 5th, 2018, a young man named Luis Hernandez sat inside of a small stone shack with a metal roof on a rural property in northern Venezuela. Luis was a painter, and for the last year or so, this shack had doubled as both his home and his art studio. And it was basically always a mess. There was dirty dishes and food everywhere, and all his paint supplies were scattered all over the ground. But the walls were all adorned with all of his beautiful and most prized possessions, his artwork. He mainly painted really dramatic-looking portraits in very bold colors. In fact, when he was actually doing his painting, when he was in the middle of the floor, right in the center of his shack, on one wall, there was this face of a man he had done, all in red, and then on the left, on the other wall, was this woman's face, all in blue, but with bright red lips. And these paintings were both so intense that at times, as he was doing his work, it sort of felt like they were both looking at him. But on this particular day, as Luis sat in the middle of his shack working on his latest project, he put that weird thought out of his mind that, his paintings were watching him, and just focused instead on getting this done. He had one more beautiful portrait he was working on, and he took his paintbrush and he dipped it in the black ink, and he put the finishing touches on it. And when this portrait was done, Luis kind of
No, I do not know the story of whoever that
help
is.
but feel a bit emotional, because this project, it was different than any other he had ever done. He wasn't doing it for fun. He wasn't doing it for pay. He was doing it as a way to cope with a big crisis in his life.
Oh my
So
dog,
this
man,
shack
I
where
swear.
Luis worked and lived, and also the rural property that it sat on, belonged to Luis's boyfriend, Lisandro Rosales Garcia. Lisandro and Luis had met about a year earlier when Luis was really down on his luck and was actually homeless, living out on the streets. But Lisandro had seen Luis and offered to let him come live in this shack on his property, which was out in the middle of nowhere.
Imo? That name? In a week, skied over 250 miles, got blown up by by mine, ate a raw bird, and his heart never dropped below 2. He weighted less than 90 pounds when he went to the hospital. What? Where the fuck do you find these crazy ass stories? What? Jesus. 200. Don't they say like you die after 100 something? What? What in the fuck? How the fuck? Not this guy. Wait, what? Dude's made out of something that's not flesh. What the fuck? Dude's the main character.
And Luis, who's got no other options, is like, awesome, yes, I'd love to do that. And so he moves out into the shack, and pretty quickly after moving in, Luis and Lisandro, they formed a more romantic relationship, and Luis was so happy. He felt like Lisandro was the one person who really understood him and truly supported his art. But then, about 2 months ago, Lisandro
It's one hell of a truck.
missing. The police were looking into it, but so far, Luis had not gotten any updates. And so Luis was handling this huge gap in his life now. You know, the only way he knew how
fuck, I forgot to get
was
tissues
with his
earlier.
art. And so this latest project he had just finished was sort of like a tribute to his missing boyfriend. But as Luis put his brush down and stood up to admire his work, he suddenly heard voices from outside. Now, this was highly unusual because this property really was very remote. I mean, the only time Luis or Lisandro would see people here was if they invited them, and Luis had not invited anyone. Before Luis could even react to, these strangers on his property, those people outside began pounding on Luis's front door. And so Luis, he opened up the door, and standing there were all these police officers. And Luis's first reaction was, oh, they must be here to give me some updates about Lisandro's disappearance. But these police officers, they didn't give an update. Instead, they just pushed past Luis into the art studio and began scooping up all his paints and paintbrushes. And then at some point, one of the officers actually looked down and saw the final project that Luis had been working on, his tribute to his missing boyfriend. And when the officer saw that painting, he turned around, ran outside, and vomited. Here is a picture of that tribute. Now, at first glance, this piece of art is totally unremarkable. It appears to be some sort of stained glass with green leaves and some blue and red flowers.
Yeah.
But when you consider the types of supplies that Luis used to make this particular piece of art, you'll realize how horrifying this image actually is, and it's what caused that officer to vomit. It would turn out Luis was not just a painter. He was also a serial killer. And what he would do is after he killed his victims, he would use their blood, their ashes, and their other body parts to paint all of his paintings. Now, at first, Luis and Lisandro were actually a happy couple. However, at some point in February of 2018, they got into some kind of fight, and Luis killed Lisandro and quickly began using his body parts to create this tribute to his boyfriend. If you look again at the tribute painting, all the red that is used is Lisandro's blood, and all the black that's used is Lisandro's ashes.
It looks so vivid though.
Of at least 6 people on that property. They also found
is it really just blood? They did not mix any. He must have mixed something with the blood, right? Had to.
Luis was arrested and made a full confession.
That's
as far as we know,
it's very red.
Incarcerated in Venezuela.
Actually, wait. That does make me remember something. Kind of recently, that something happened to one of our dogs. Thankfully, she's okay now. But she got hurt in her jaw. And there was quite a kind of a big amount of blood. And I was actually shocked how, the whole situation was shocking. Because I woke up to to my parents trying to catch her to drive her to the vet because she was like fucking she was just running around terrified. But I remember when I got outside and I saw the dog with blood on his mouth. It was like this really vivid red color. It was like, I don't know. It's weird. Because I've never seen blood that bright. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway.
In case you haven't heard yet, our newest graphic novel, Mr. Ball
Okay, we're done. Okay, I need to get a tissue because my nose is being weird. Okay, I'll be back. Maybe I'll get some food as well, real quick. Should be quick though. Maybe just like 2 minutes or something. I'll just leave it on the screen. Okay, yeah, I'll be back. Oh. I got my food. It took a tiny bit longer than I thought I would. But I'm here. Oh, okay. Eh. Let me see. I don't want a video that's too long, so maybe this one. I want something that's like 30 minutes max, I would say. Hmm. I don't know, these kind of seem me. No, I think my favorite kind of stories are things that happen in forests. I don't know, there's just something about forests. It's so spooky. It's just fucking... Oh, this one. Last time. Basement story. Let's try this one.
Okay, we just wrapped up the 15 city live tour. Like literally, this is my first day back in the studio. The tour was amazing, really. It was fall of 1986. Frank Bowen, along with his two daughters,
Okay.
Tina, who was 15, and Karen, who was 9, they experienced just a terrible loss. So Frank's wife and the girl's mother suddenly passed away from cancer. And so that in and of itself was obviously tragic and terrible. But what made it even worse is that, she had been a working mom and her income was a vital part of just making ends meet in the Bowen household. And so as soon as she passed away, as much as Frank just wanted to be there for his girls to help them grieve the loss of their mother, he really couldn't. He started immediately having to pick up all these late night shifts at his job, again, just to make sure financially the family was whole. And so it's like within days of the mother passing away, Frank is out late at work, and these two poor girls are just stuck at home by themselves, just totally grief stricken and alone. And so in October of that
Wait.
year, on one of those nights where Tina and Karen were home alone and their dad was out working late, these girls, you got to remember, they desperately miss their mother. All they want is to just have one more interaction with her. They can't believe that she's gone. They were
My
so
yogurt.
close with her. It's like
I forgot.
their whole lives have been turned upside down. And so on this night that they're home alone, putting themselves to bed, they start talking about how, man, I just wish there was just a way to communicate with mom. And at some point, one of the girls says, wait a minute, maybe there is a way to do that. So the girls owned a Ouija board, and a Ouija board is basically a way people believe they can speak to the dead. It looks sort of like a game board. It's got letters and numbers on it, and it's got a yes and a no on there. And there's this thing called a planchette, which is basically like this little free-floating dial, almost like a pointer that you can place on the board. And people that use the Ouija board will place their fingertips right on the edge of the planchette. And they will literally just say things like, if there are spirits in the room with me right now, give me a sign. And in theory, if there are, the spirits will move the planchette around so that people have their fingertips on it, but they're not controlling it, and it will move around the board and land on yes or no, or spell things out or give numbers. It's just a way people believe they can speak to the dead. And so Karen and Tina are like, why don't we get our Ouija board out and have a seance? Let's
I'm
try to
awake.
communicate with mom and see if she manipulates the board and gives us
I'm
a sign
alive.
that she's here with us. And so Tina and Karen, they get their Ouija board, they go down into the basement of their house, they lay it out, and they put their fingers on the planchette. And after a minute, one of the girls is like, hey mom, are you here with us right now? And they have their fingers on the planchette, but nothing happens. So again, the girls wait a minute, and they try
Great
to
idea.
Mom, if you're here with us right now, please, anything, just move it even a little bit. Show us you're here with us right now. Nothing happens.
And so over and over and over again for over an hour, the girls just sit there asking every combination of question they can possibly think of to try to elicit a response from their mother, who they so want to believe is like
Come
with
back
them
from the
right
dead.
now, sort of looking out for them. But no matter how earnestly and passionately they asked these questions, the planchette never moved. So the seance didn't work.
Randball's
So
YouTube
the
channel.
girls, you know, it's not clear if they literally believed they were actually going to get a reaction from their mom, but, you know, this was pretty disappointing. It was like another reminder that, you know, mom really is gone. And so they packed up their Ouija board, you know, very frustrated, and they went upstairs to their respective
Not enough
bedrooms on the
candles.
second floor of the house. They climb into bed and they try to go to sleep. So their father is still out at work. He won't be home for some time, and the girls know this. They know that they are home alone until they fall asleep. And so they're laying in their bedrooms. It's totally dark. It's quiet. And as they're laying there, the girls begin to hear a tapping sound coming from somewhere. In
Sometimes I see things from that show up from them,
was not coming from the floor of the house.
and it is indeed very crazy stuff. I mean, it's Red Bull.
Floor or maybe down in the basement. But, you know, at first
They do
tapping
everything
sounds
but the
didn't really
drinks,
alarm them at
apparently.
all. It just sort of sounded like, you know, house sounds at night. You know, the sound of machines whirring or clicking, or maybe branches outside striking the side of the house, or who knows what. But they seem sort of like harmless
Yeah.
sounds that you would expect. at
Pretty
night.
much
However,
everything at
as
this
the
point.
tapping sort of persisted. You know, it wasn't really consistent tapping sound. It was more sporadic, but it was consistently sporadic. Like it was obvious whatever this was, it wasn't stopping. You know, as that continued, the girls began to tune in more and more to it and started wondering, like, what is this? And at some point, the younger of the two girls, Karen, the 9-year-old, she started to get spooked. You know, the sound was kind of freaking her out. And so she got out of her bed and she left her room. She goes down the hallway. She comes into Tina's bedroom and she goes up to her big sister and she's like, "Do you hear that tapping sound?" And Tina's like,
Oh
"Yeah,
boy.
what is that?" And so the two girls, they leave Tina's bedroom together. They go out into the hallway. They can still hear the tapping. It's kind of coming from downstairs somewhere. And the girls, they walk to the top of the stairs, basically looking down the stairwell that wraps down to the first floor. They can't see the first floor. They can only see, you know, the halfway point, the landing. And they're hearing the tapping sound coming from somewhere down there. And the girls are just kind of listening, not really reacting. And at some point, one of the girls says,
Man wants to walk on a mountain that's 6 kilometers high.
"This tapping sound is Mom.
I guess.
What if the seance we did worked? What if she is here and now she's giving us a sign that..."
I mean,
she's with
didn't
us
someone
right
try
now?
to
What if
climb
it's
Everest? That's like
So
11
excited all of a sudden,
kilometers
one of the
high.
girls just says, "Mom, is that you down there?"
Mom!
Immediately there's a response. Tap, tap, tap. Something from downstairs is reacting to their question. And
Boy.
the girls are psyched. This is what they wanted when they did their seance. All they wanted was some interaction with their mother, and they think right now they're getting it. They're
Tiny
talking
bit
to
of
their
snow.
mom. And so after getting that tap, tap, tap response, one of the girls asks another question. You know, "Mom, if it's really you, you know, give us another sign. Really show it's you." Tap, tap, tap. Something for sure is interacting with them downstairs.
Oh shit.
And the girls 100% believe it's their mother, and again, they are thrilled. And so the girls, they start walking down the stairs, firing off more questions to their mom, and even though some of their questions weren't really yes or no questions, they would always get that sort of tap, tap, tap response. Like, again, something is interacting with them. And as they made their way down to the first floor, and they're hearing this tapping, and they're sort of following it around, it eventually brings them to the head of the stairs that leads down into the basement. And they open up the basement door, and they're asking more questions. They're getting those tap responses, and it's clearly coming from downstairs. And even though the girls are really excited, it's gotta be Mom, they weren't so
For
confident
sure.
that they were prepared to go down into the basement to follow after this tapping sound. So they sort
Oh
of
my god, it's
stop
raining.
at the top of the
Oh my
stairs,
god, the rain.
looking down into the basement.
Christ.
You know, it's gotta be Mom, but it's still a little bit frightening to go down there. And so they stayed there, right above the stairs, looking
Can
into
you
the
hear it?
basement, just constantly asking questions and getting responses from down in the basement from Mom. It was
You can wait. I'm gonna turn up my gain. Hold on. I'm gonna turn up my gain to the fucking max. Hold on. Can you hear that? It calmed down a little bit, but it was raining a lot harder a second ago. Oh. Okay, I'll turn my gain up again once it gets crazy again. Oh my god. Anyway,
And eventually, after 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it was, the tapping just stopped. The girls continued asking questions, but there was no longer any reaction from the basement. And so at that point, the girls, they're so excited. They really feel like they've been talking to their mom, and they're so
yeah, I can
jazzed
check
up
out a
with
bit.
this experience that they're like, we're
I wasn't really planning on doing much after this video, but if the video is not too long, then I can watch it, and then I was gonna end the stream after that because it's quite late and I'm just getting tired. It's crazy, Mike. Why is that? Can you still hear the rain? Oh god. Wait. I'm gonna turn it up. Oh god. Right, okay. I'm turning the shit down. Oh my god. But yeah, if the video is not too long, I can check it out. But then I'm gonna be done for the night.
not going to be able to sleep. And so the girls just stay awake in the kitchen until Frank comes home from work. And when Frank comes inside and he sees his girls are awake, it's like midnight or whatever it is, he's sort of surprised. But the girls rush up to him and they're like, "Dad, you wouldn't believe it. We had this seance and we heard this tapping sound and we know it was Mom. Mom is with us right now. We were talking to her."
Calm down, Wayne,
Frank,
Jesus.
he's totally caught off guard by what
The
he's
fuck?
saying. But he also knows
I barely hear the video.
they're going through this horrible time in their lives. I mean, they've just lost their mother. He can't even imagine their level of grief. I mean, he's obviously grief-stricken, but this is their mom. And so he's seeing his girls for the first time in what feels like a long time, looking really happy and excited, and they're telling him that tapping sounds in the house are their mother. And so Frank, he's not going to pick holes in what they're doing. He's not going to question, what's actually happening in the house. Instead, as soon as they tell him all this stuff, he just goes, "You know what, girls? Of course your mom is here. Your mom will always be here. She will always be looking out for you. Your mom is with you right now in the house, I'm sure of it." And so the girls, they're so happy. Again, this was such an amazing experience. Their dad, he also agreed this is so good. And so the girls, they happily go upstairs to their bedrooms, and they go to sleep. And Frank, truthfully, after having this exchange with his daughters, didn't really think much of it. Again, he's sort of thinking that, there wasn't really tapping sounds coming from his deceased wife. This is just some coping mechanism that the girls are using to deal with this tragedy. And he thinks, you know what? It's healthy enough. It's making them happy. What's the big deal? And so Frank, he goes to bed. Over the next few days,
Don't go to the
tapping
basement.
sounds in the house would continue. And they were no longer just coming from the basement. They were also coming from the kitchen. They were coming sometimes from the second floor. They were sort of coming from all over the house. But the
Coming
girls
all
were
over
the
the
only
house, huh?
ones who could hear the sounds. Every time they'd hear the tapping, if their dad was home, they'd call him over, but Frank wouldn't hear anything. Now again, Frank doesn't really believe that there's actually tapping happening. He doesn't think this is actually real at all, but he's playing along with it because, his girls are happy, clearly this is their coping mechanism.
But does he not hear it?
Again, Frank's not thinking much of it. It's harmless. The girls are frustrated that he can't hear it, but again, it's overall still a very good thing. It's Mom.
How are
Mom
the
is
girls
trying to
hearing
communicate
him?
with them.
You're hearing it and he's not.
However, after a few days, post-seance, as the tapping continued, the girls began to change their attitude about the tapping sounds. The first day and over those first few days, it really did feel like a good thing. This is Mom. This is positive. This was definitely a good thing. But after about 72 hours, post-seance, the girls began to sort of feel frightened by the tapping, because the tapping no longer was really just coming mostly from the basement. It now started coming almost exclusively from their bedrooms at night. So they'd be laying in bed and they'd hear, tapping underneath their beds. They'd hear tapping in their closets, and it was frightening. And they would call their dad in, and he'd come into their bedrooms, and he wouldn't find anything, But now, Frank, who previously had just sort of let this continue, this is his girl's coping
If this is someone,
with
then
terrible loss.
how?
Now he's seeing that his girls, they don't really think it's mom anymore. They don't know what this is. And it's also disrupting their sleep. And so now it's not a healthy thing anymore. This is a problem. Like, it's disrupting his girls' lives. And so Frank begins at this point, 3 days post-seance now, he begins telling his girls,
Okay, the rain has calmed down.
Come on, guys. There's nothing to be scared of here. These tapping sounds are just normal house sounds. You're overthinking it. Like, there's nothing that's going to harm you in the house.
So
Mom
the
is
houses
definitely
don't just
here
make
looking out for
tapping
you,
sounds
but she's not
randomly.
making those tapping sounds. You got to let this stuff go and just forget about this.
Sometimes there's sounds that happen in the house, but
Girls, they're like, Dad,
being
we're not making the tapping sounds up. Just because you don't hear them does not mean they're not real. And they began to tell their dad, like, we think the seance worked, but we actually no longer think it's mom that's sort of come out of the seance. We think
boy.
we unlocked a different spirit, an evil spirit. And now that
Boy,
evil spirit
boss.
is haunting our house. And so Frank, at this point, he's like, guys, that's not what's going
It's
on.
Evil
here. We
Larry.
really need
Evil
to
Larry
stop.
is
Like,
haunting
these
them.
tapping sounds are not real. They're in your head or they're normal. And so Frank and his daughters really began to fight over this because the girls, they know they're hearing sounds, and Frank's like, I'm not. And so they're really starting to fight over it. The girls, they're getting
got names
more
where
and
he
more
goes?
frightened just being in their house, in particular at night when these sounds would typically start. And so fast forward about a week after the seance, and now the girls really are so scared to be in their house because of this tapping, which they believe is now this evil spirit in their house. They're finding all sorts of excuses to just stay out of their house. Like when dad's at work late, they're trying to stay at their friend's house and not be home because it was too frightening. And Frank, he's sort of at his wit's end with what to do with his girls because now this thing that's going on in the house, this delusion as he believed it was, that his girls were suffering from, it was really disruptive and unhealthy. And he
John?
began telling his girls, like, if you can't stop
Old
this
as fuck.
whole tapping delusion, you're going to have to go to grief counseling. Like, this is too much. And so, again, fast forward about a week here,
Oh,
and
my
that's what's
my
going
dog.
on in the
My
Cohen
there goes
household.
my dog again.
And on this particular day, the girls, Tina and Karen, they didn't have a place to go that night. They didn't have a friend who was available. And so they're home at their house alone. Frank's out for the night doing a late night shift.
My
The
belief.
girls, they're in their kitchen just kind of hanging out. They're pretty anxious here. And they start to hear tapping sounds coming from the basement. Now, by this point, the tapping sounds were so common that just hearing the tapping sounds was not like this horribly frightening
Oh my
thing.
god, Jacob's
It
so
was just sort of
old.
this very unsettling thing where nobody knew what they were. And again, the girls think it's something evil. But on this night that the girls are alone, dad's gone, Tina, the older of the two, she says to Karen, like, Dad doesn't believe us. He does not believe that there's tapping sounds in the house. And so we, right now, need to go down in the basement and investigate. Because if we don't, no one's ever going to look into this. Like, nobody believes us. And Karen is horrified at the idea,
Have they tried recording it? Like, what year is this story set on? Can't they just record the sounds? I'll tell you. Oh damn! Some ancient people in your house. Ask them. I'm sure they must look at your phone and they're like,
Karen's the 9-year-old, of going down into the basement, to go see what this tapping is, but she doesn't want to be away from her sister, and so she's like, okay. And so Tina gets a knife from the kitchen. She goes to the door to the basement. Karen follows right behind her. Tina, she opens up the door, and the two girls begin going down the steps. And once they get to the bottom of the steps and they're in the basement, it's just this kind of blank slate down there. There's a washing machine and a dryer, there's some boxes, but it's just sort of a dank, sort of open, nothing cellar down there. And the girls, when they got down there, they're looking for the origin of this tapping sound. And on some level, they expected to find something that was making these sounds because they've been hearing these sounds. For them, it's not a delusion. Like, every time they hear these sounds, they are real to them. Just because their dad doesn't hear it does not mean it's not real to them. And if you look at the beginning, when they first started hearing the sounds, they thought it was their mom. and they never really fully investigated. They maybe didn't want to find out that, perhaps the tapping sound was, a washing machine or something, because that would destroy the illusion that it was their mom. So they never fully investigated then, and then the next few days after that, when it sort of transitioned and became a scary thing, the girls also never really investigated because it was scary now. They didn't want to know what was making this tapping sound. And so now here we are a week into this, and they've gone down into the basement where they've heard the tapping sounds, and they're like prepared to see something that is making this sound because it's real for them. Like maybe it's a raccoon or some animal that's gotten into their house, but there has to be something because they hear these sounds. But now they're looking around this basement and there's nothing. There's nothing that could possibly be making this sound. And
So you already know. You already know this has to be in the US because I swear it's like one of the only countries that has walls that are hollow. I don't know. That to me is still crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a house here where the walls are not completely solid inside. I don't know. It's just crazy.
the girls are horrified. And so after being down there only for a couple of minutes, Tina, who's got the kitchen knife, she's like, Karen, let's get out of here. Like, this isn't right. Let's get out of here. And so the girls turn around and they begin going back up the steps. And as they do, they notice something on the stairway wall that they didn't see on the way down. Written in red on the wall are the words, I'm in your closet, come find me. And when the girls see that, they are horrified. And they sprint up the stairs.
Mom's in the
they bolt
closet.
out of their
She's
house,
she's
they go to
about
their
to say I'm
neighbor's house,
lesbian.
start banging on the neighbor's door. The neighbor comes to the
Oh,
door
shit.
and he's like, what's going on? And the girls are like, oh my.
Okay, why are you even, bro? Just call the police. What's the neighbor gonna do? At that point, just call the police. What the fuck, bruh? Got a ghost in you in the yard? What is he?
God, we had this seance, we've been hearing tapping in the
Ooh.
walls, and now somebody's written on the walls, we don't know what's going
Yes, there,
on.
huh?
And the neighbor is so confused, really doesn't understand what's happening, and he's like, look, girls, just come into my house, you're safe here, we'll wait for your dad to come home, he'll know what to do. And so
Call the police. What the fuck? Oh my god. It's so simple.
the girls, they're hysterical, they go into the neighbor's house, they shut the door, and they wait. And then a little bit later, Frank Bowen, their dad, he comes home. The neighbor immediately flags him down and calls him over. And he's like, look, here's what happened. Your girls came over. They said, something about writing on the walls. I don't know. And Frank's like, okay, all right. And he tells his girls, like, look, stay here. You're safe here. I'll go check the house and make sure nobody's in there. Frank, at this point, in no way suspects that there's anything, evil or bad in his house. He thinks this is just a continuation of this delusion the girls are sort of acting out. And so Frank,
How would they even
alone,
make up
goes
writing?
back to his house. He opens
How do you
the
make up
door, he goes
writing?
inside, he searches
the
the
wall?
house, and he looks everywhere.
Sounds is one
but
thing.
there's nobody in the house. He does find the writing in the stairwell going down to
Okay.
the basement. It does say, I'm in your closet, come find me. But it's written in ketchup. And so after, again, searching the whole house and finding nothing
So?
other than this writing,
What does it matter
Frank
what's
goes back
written
to the
in?
neighbor's house, and he talks to his girls, and he's not mad at them. In some ways, he feels like all of this is basically his
Like, oh, this isn't blood, so who cares? Whoever wrote this, they're not. They're fucking.
fault. Like, he should have handled this more aggressively at the beginning, and he let it get to this point. And so he tells his girls,
Why do I
"Look,
feel like
I
feel like I've heard
that
this story
you
already."
wrote those words on the wall. I know that all of this is sort of a delusion that's playing out that started with, something good. You thought it was mom, but now it's become something that isn't good. It's disruptive. You've convinced yourself the house is haunted, and I'm very worried that this is a product of grief. Like, grief is leading you to do these things, and it needs to stop. And so starting tomorrow, you're going to go into grief counseling. We need professional help here to make sure you girls are taken care of. I should have done this from the beginning.
My
There's no
legs
way to
unknown.
happen right now.
Does
Now,
it
the girls
does the
knew
ghost have
they
a
didn't
third
write that on
leg?
the wall. They're not making the tapping sounds, but they also knew their dad 100% didn't believe them, like zero, and it was not going to change. And on some level, like, they think maybe there's truth to what he's saying. Maybe they are so grief-stricken that they've convinced themselves of things that are not real. And so in this
Right
sort of
now.
vulnerable moment where the girls are totally upset about what they've
Two
seen,
people,
and
come
what
on,
they've
two people would
heard,
not be
they just
seeing
tell their
and
dad, like,
hearing the
"Fine,
exact same thing.
whatever, we'll go to grief counseling." And so
Come
sure
on.
enough, the next day the girls would start grief counseling, and right away all the tapping in the house, all the writing on the walls, all that stuff stopped. Like peace returned to the Bowen household, at least at first.
Walks around at night. Well, it's a 3 a.m.
As you may
little
already know, I recently was on
walking
tour.
little jog.
Me and my team spent 4 weeks traveling in
Fast forward 3 weeks to December 8th, 1986. So this is 3 weeks after the girls began their therapy.
Okay, there's my answer to why they didn't record anything. They're in the fucking 80s. There you go.
In those 3 weeks, the Bowen household is totally calm. There's no more tapping, nothing, everything is fine. But on December 8th, Frank, along with his 2 girls, Tina and Karen, and their friend, Kathleen, they had been out for the evening, maybe getting ice cream or going out to eat or whatever, and they come back to the Bowen household. And when they do, it's nighttime, so it's dark outside, and Frank, he goes up to the porch, he goes to the front door, and as he's about to open up the door, he looks through one of the windows of his house, and he sees there are several lights on in the house that he didn't remember leaving on before they left. And so he just thinks, like, that's weird. Like, I could have sworn I turned those lights off. He's kind of looking back at the girls right behind him, sort of wondering if maybe they left the lights on, but he's like, oh, that's weird. So he unlocks the front door, he swings the door open, and immediately he sees this scene inside of his house that makes no sense. The TV is on, a radio is on, and furniture in the first floor of the house where he's looking has clearly been moved. Not dramatically, but things have been moved around on the first floor. Like if you live somewhere, you know where things go. Things are off. And Frank, like,
Right.
he's seeing this, and he's sort of looking back at Tina and Karen, and he's like, did they do this? Are we back to this whole delusion? You gotta remember that even though it's been 3 weeks now of peace in the Bowen household, Frank is all too aware of how insane it was right before then. You know, with the girls, writing on the wall, at least according to him, and thinking there was an evil spirit in their house, and, he's thinking, is this them? Like, somehow did they do this? This feels sort of like a continuation of that. He's looking at the girls, but he's thinking to himself, like, they've been with me. We've been out of the house. How could they do this? But again, Frank is sort of caught. On the one hand, he knows this could be his girls, but he's also thinking
How
that's
though?
impossible. And so in that mind state of sort of being caught between these two opposing ideas, Frank, instead of backing out of the house and calling the police like anybody else would do, he instead just begins like walking into the house, sort of nonchalant, like not really sure how to react. And he begins this sort of half-cocked search through the house. And the whole time, Tina, Karen, and Kathleen, they see what's going on, and the 2 daughters, they're terrified. I mean, they're all too aware of all the tapping and the writing on the walls. They're thinking, this is real, it's happening again. And so they're tucked up right behind Frank, who again, Frank is like in shock. He's just like wandering through the house thinking, what's going on here? Turns the TV off, he's walking
What
around,
the
turns the
bloody
radio
happened?
off, he's moving furniture back around, and he can't believe it. And so he does this weird, like, again, half-invested search through the first floor. He doesn't find anybody there. He goes to the second floor, does the same search. Again, all 3 girls, the 2 daughters and the friend, they're right behind Frank because they're so scared. They do the search of the second floor, nobody there. They search the attic, nobody there either. They go down to
Basement.
the basement, nobody in the basement. Like, there's nobody in the house. And so Frank is
Closet?
like, what is going on here? And then he remembers there's actually a room on the first floor of the house that he forgot to search. It was just a front room of the house right off the front entrance. When he began the search, he just sort of overlooked it because he was sort of in a daze. And so he's like, okay, I'll go back up there and I'll search that last room, and then I'll know the whole house is secure. Nobody's here. And so Frank goes back up the basement stairs to the first floor. The girls are tucked up right behind him, still so scared. And he makes his way towards this room, and this room overlooks the front of the property. There are windows looking out to the road. It's just you walk in.
The fuck is that noise? It's gone. Now I'm starting to hear noises. What the fuck?
in, there's windows, there's the front of the house, and there's a little closet over to the left. It's like a sitting room. And so Frank, he goes into this room, and right away, he sees on the wall right in front of him, written in shaving cream, are the words, "Marry me." And so Frank, he walks over to the words, and he's staring at them, being like, what is this? Like, who wrote this? The girls, again, are right behind him, tucked up against the back of his legs, and he's staring, and as he's doing that, he hears movement in the closet in the room that he's in. And Frank turns and he looks at this closet. The doors are open to this closet, but it's a dark closet. And out of the closet walks a man who was wearing a dress, Frank's dead wife's dress. This person had clown makeup on their face, and they were wielding a hatchet. And they walk out of the closet, and they look at Frank, and they look at the girls, who are so shocked, they're just in silence, staring back at the sky. And this person looks at Frank and goes, "You and the girls go upstairs." And so Frank immediately goes into protector mode, and he gets between the maniac and his girls, and he just tells the girls, like, go up the stairs, do what he says.
No, just run out of the house. What? Don't do what the fuck? Huh? What the fuck?
And the hatchet-wielding maniac just sort of walks along, following after Frank
Oh
and the
my.
girls. Again, Frank sort of staying between this person and the girls. And so Frank shepherds the girls up the stairs, and he's like, "Go ahead, girls. First bedroom, go in the first bedroom." So they go upstairs. All three girls go into the first bedroom. So Kathleen, Kara, and Tina. And then Frank, he goes into the bedroom, and the maniac's right here in the hallway about to follow after Frank. And as soon as Frank gets in the door, Frank shuts the door and holds it shut, and there's suddenly this struggle between the
Doesn't he have a hatchet? A fucking hatchet? He's gonna.
maniac in the hallway and Frank. The maniac's trying to get in. There's this vicious struggle, and Tina, who's already in this bedroom, just turns, runs, and leaps out the second floor window. And so she smashes to the ground. She runs next door to that neighbor's house. She slams on the door. The neighbor comes out, and Tina's screaming about, "There's someone in my house!" And so the neighbor at this point knows this is a real emergency. They call the police, and then
Finally.
minutes later, the police show up, and when they get there, they look up at the Bowen household, and Frank Bowen is leaning out of that second floor bedroom, and he's screaming to the police, "Hey, there's somebody in here. He was just at my door. He's gone. I don't know where he is." And police, they get over, they put a ladder up to the window. Frank comes down, they get the other two girls down, so everybody is safely out of the house now. They've been moved over to that neighbor's house, and now the police are going to go into the Bowen household to find.
Wait, they went into the neighbor's house? That sounds like a bad decision to go into another house. Like, how do you know this person could have tried to go into that other house? Who knows? They should just stay outside next to the cop cars. You know, where they can be seen, not in another house right next to the one where there was just this fucking person, right?
Find this dress-wearing, hatchet-wielding, clown makeup-wearing maniac. They're going to find him and put him into custody. And so the police, they go into the Bowen household, you know, guns drawn, and they search that entire property, top to bottom, and they find nothing. Nobody's there. The house is completely vacant. However, they would find a hatchet lying by the back sliding glass door, and the back sliding glass door was
left it
open. And so ultimately, again, when nobody is found inside the house, the police decide, like, well, clearly this maniac, if there really was a maniac, is now gone. Because look, the door's open, the hatchet's here, so they're gone. And so the police, they go over and talk to Frank and his family, and they're like, look, you know, we don't really know what to make of this. We didn't actually see, you know, this person you claim to have seen in your house. I'm sure there was somebody, but we didn't see them. And so for now, what we're going to do is we're going to monitor your property 24/7 and just see what happens, see if anybody comes in or out. We'll make sure nobody comes to this property. And we'll also begin an investigation in town to try to figure out, you know, who this maniac was. And in the meantime, you and your girls go stay with a family friend or something. Just don't be here because we don't know what's going on here. And so Frank and his girls, they went and stayed with a family friend, and the police began their surveillance of the Bowen household. And for 2 days, nothing happened. Like, nobody went in or out of the Bowen household. And despite police canvassing the town and trying to figure out, you know, who this maniac could have been, they really didn't get anywhere. Because remember, Frank's description and the girl's description of this maniac was, you know, probably a man wearing a dress with clown makeup on, and so effectively this person had a disguise on. Like there was nothing to go on. So they couldn't find anybody in town, there was no leads, and nobody has come to this house, and they're communicating with Frank Bowen the whole time. Like basically nothing's coming of this case. And so finally, 48 hours after, confronting this maniac in the closet, Frank and his girls, they've been at the family friend's house this whole time. And Frank's like, you know what, it'd be great to get my toiletries and a few other things from my house, because basically they evacuated their house and didn't get a chance to pack or anything. And Frank's thinking like, nothing's going on at the house. There's no leads in this case. It's got to be safe to go back to my house for a minute and get the things I need. And so he tells his girls to stay with his family friend, and Frank, by himself, goes over to his house, and it's broad daylight, and he's expecting to find a police officer, who's monitoring his property, and he can tell the officer, hey, I'm just going in real quick to get my stuff, and they would, let him go in and do that. But when he got to his house, he looked around, and he didn't see any police officer outside the property watching the property. And he's thinking, like, that's pretty weird. They told me they've been watching my property 24/7, like, where are they? But Frank's like, that's weird, whatever. So he gets out of his car and begins walking towards his front door. But as he's walking, for a second, out of the corner of his eye, he can swear he can see somebody moving in the second floor of his house. But when he looked up, nobody was there. But he was certain somebody had been moving around up there. And Frank's thinking to himself, like, wait a minute. Are the police monitoring my house from the inside? Is that what they're doing? They've been in my house? I could have sworn they said they were out of my house. And Frank's like, you know what? Just in case, I need to call the police because I don't want to walk in there and startle an armed police officer who's basically looking for an intruder. And so Frank, he goes to that neighbor's house and uses their phone, and he calls the police, and he's like, hey, are you in my house? Is that what you guys have been doing? You've been monitoring my house from the inside? And they're like, no, we have been watching it from the outside. Very likely what's happened here is you've arrived at your house at the exact moment when there is turnover happening between the police officers who are watching it from the outside. Meaning the officer who's been watching your house must have just left, and the incoming officer who will be taking over the next shift is probably on their way, or maybe they're there right now. And in fact, what you should do, Frank, is hang up with us, go back to your property, and very likely the officer will be there or be there soon, and you can talk to them and have them search your house just in case to make sure nobody's in there. And so Frank says, okay, he hangs up the phone, he goes outside, and sure enough, now there is clearly a police officer in a car outside of his property. So Frank goes over and, explains the situation to the officer, and the officer's like, no one's going inside your property. Literally, we have watched this property 24/7, save for a couple of minutes here and there when we're doing turnover, but nobody's gone in or out of your property. But either way, Frank, I'll search your house just to be sure. And so Frank goes back over to the neighbor's house, and this officer goes up to Frank's door, he opens it up, he looks inside, and he can't believe what he's looking at. In the first floor of Frank's house, it's just madness. There are pennies glued to the ceiling of the first floor, and the furniture clearly has been moved all over the place, but it's been stacked in these sort of weird arrangements. And there are glasses of champagne all over the first floor, and there are kitchen knives that have been driven into family photos on the wall. Like the knives are still sticking into the photo, and where these knives have been driven through the photo is always on a picture of either Tina or Karen, the two daughters. And where there are knives in these pictures, above those pictures is written, I'm going to kill you, Tina, or I'm going to kill you, Karen. And so this officer obviously knows, we have a problem here. And so
it's cool how they did this like reenactment of it.
And so all these officers go in, guns drawn, now convinced, clearly somebody has found a way to come in and out of this house, or they're still here, and we have to find them. Like, clearly, the Bowens were not lying about this horrible, maniac that they encountered in the second floor of their house when police first showed up. Clearly, that must have happened, because they didn't do this. Somebody else did, and they gotta be here. And so police, they tear the Bowen household apart, looking for this maniac. They look everywhere, and they can't find anybody.
He's doing the goddamn walls.
And on top of that, it had snowed outside, and before they went in, they made sure they walked around the property to see if there were footsteps coming in or out of the property, and there wasn't. Like it's not possible what they're seeing. But they've now torn the house up looking for anything, and they found nothing other than, again, the madness they've seen with the furniture, the writing, the knives. That's all they've found. And so after hours and hours of this very frustrating search, a few of the officers found themselves in the basement, and they're just standing there talking to each other like, this is crazy. We must have missed something. Like, what is it? And at some point, one of those officers who was having that conversation, he had his hand resting on the washing machine, and he's just sitting there like, yeah, what did we miss? What did we miss? And suddenly, as he's leaning against the washing machine moved. And so suddenly there's this gap that's been created by moving the washing machine, and the officer looks at the wall where the machine had been sitting before, and clearly there is a hole on the wall. And the officer gets out his flashlight, and he looks in the wall and kind of scans down, and he sees there's this tunnel that's been burrowed in the wall of the basement, and it goes over to the corner, and looking back at this officer is Danny LaPlante. And he's crouched down, he's got a hatchet over his shoulder, he's wearing a dress, and he's staring back at this officer. I'm going to tell you about Danny LaPlante because this story takes a very dark turn. So, Danny LaPlante was 16 years old at the time.
This story takes a very dark turn. I think it's already been dark. Hello? What the fuck?
Time he was pulled out of the wall. And 6 months prior to being pulled out of the Bowen household's wall, Danny had had this very brief interaction with Tina Bowen, the 15-year-old. Apparently they went to school together or had some interaction in town, but Danny had sort of fallen in love or had some sort of romantic interest in Tina, and he felt like Tina had rejected him. Now, Tina did not remember any of this with Danny. This is entirely Danny's memory of what happened. But either way, 6 months earlier, when he had this sense of rejection from Tina, Danny responded to that by breaking into the Bowen household, cutting a hole in their walls, and burrowing tunnels in their walls. And for 6 months, Danny LaPlante lived in the Bowen household in their walls. Now, Danny was not able to access the entire house through the wall in the basement. He could basically maneuver in the basement and partially into the first floor, but in order to get to the other parts...
Hey, what? Why is your real voice like... times better than other... What? What do you mean?
The house, Danny had to leave the wall, and so routinely over these 6 months that he was in their house, Danny would literally, while the family was home, just get out and wander through their house, like as the family is just living there, and they never noticed him. So for 6 months, Danny spied on that family 24/7. And when the girls had that seance with the Ouija board to try to contact their mother, Danny was downstairs in the basement in the walls watching, and he saw an opportunity. He thought, I'm going to pretend to be their mother and screw with them. And so when they heard that tapping sound, that was Danny pretending to be their mom. He was absolutely trying to get them to believe their mother was here. But then whenever Frank was around, Danny would stop the tapping and sort of let Frank believe the girls were making it up. And then gradually, Danny sort of transitioned from it's your mom and it's good to actively trying to terrify the girls. He began tapping at all hours of the night. He began sneaking out of the wall, going upstairs to the girls' bedroom, flicking the undersides of their beds, going in their closet, tapping in their closet, and then making sure to be hidden or escape before Frank came in. I mean, this is absolutely psychotic behavior.
Shit.
Worse. So Danny is taken out of the walls and he's arrested. But then 10 months later, when he is awaiting trial, Danny is released on bail. And while he is on bail, he would sneak into another family's house in Massachusetts.
He's never losing hide and seek. You can bet on that. You wanna win a hide and seek competition? Hire this guy, goddamn.
The Gustafson's house, and unfortunately, that family would not escape Danny. Danny would murder 3
Wait, what?
Danny is released on bail. And while he is on bail, he would sneak into another family's house in Massachusetts, the Gustafson's house, and unfortunately, that family would not escape Danny. Danny would murder 3 members of that family for really no particular reason. He just picked a family and killed them. And so, very likely, if Tina had not leapt out of the second floor window when Danny revealed himself in that dress with the hatchet and got them to go up to that bedroom, if Tina hadn't leapt out and if Frank hadn't held off the door like that, almost certainly Danny was corralling that family into that room to kill them with the hatchet. But Tina basically saved their lives. As of this video, Danny LaPlante is still alive,
Oh, shit.
serving multiple consecutive life sentences, and he actually recently was put up for parole.
Consecutive life sentence. How do you have more than one life sentence? What? How does that work? What?
He didn't get it. He did not get parole. But during his hearing for his parole, when he was rejected, he was determined to be one of the most psychopathic inmates in the entire prison system.
Huh.
And now, here is a clip from the latest episode of Redacted. Enjoy.
Get AI generator supposed to stop on Google. Swear at it? Wait, what? Wait, like, what should I even search up? Um. Ah. I see. So wait, if I take this out, I guess this isn't technically AI, but oh, this one trick will stop AI from from helping you. Okay, what was that Red Bull video? Something to do with the mountain? Red Bull. It's so pathetic. Red Bull Osama. It's in the shorts, so. You know what it's called? You'll see it. Will I? Scanning. At 6,000 meters, every step counts. Is that the name of it? Many shorts. Wait, I can just search it up. What am I doing? Uh. Oh, I think I found it. Living on the edge. This it? Oh god. Brother. Oh. Tell me he has safety equipment. Yeah, I'll just fucking die. The fuck? Just chilling. Okay. Yeah, just okay. Yeah, just chilling at on top of this huge ass mountain. Yeah, just average Red Bull Monday, I don't know. What? Oh boy. What is that? 7-3. Oh yeah. It's a lot of miles. Whoops. It's a lot of miles. A lot of meters. A lot of. Yeah. How long have I been live for? 3 hours? Hell yeah. Oh hell. Oh my god. Okay. I rode a bike on a train. Boy. There are lots of things. Lots of crazy things. Okay. Slide myself over here. A moving train. I would expect nothing less. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna end it here. It is past 2 a.m. Raid time. Oh yeah. I never fucking raid people because I always forget that's the thing, but to be fair, there's not really anyone live right now that I would raid, so let's see. Wait, who's that? Oh, okay. Let me check them out. What is going on the stream? Is this the starting screen or? Okay. Oh yeah, it just started 6 minutes ago. Okay, I see. I guess yeah, that's their starting screen. Okay, how the fuck do I raid someone? Twitch. How to raid. Type /raid followed by the name of the channel you want to raid. Okay. Sounds easy enough. Let me try that. /raid and then channel name. There you go. Time to raid. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's the right name. Okay. Boom. Let's go. Time to raid. It's my first raid. I'm ready to. Okay. Raid now. My first raid. Ooh. Yay. Get raided. Just. Well then. Let me just there you go. Oh, hold on, okay. There you go. Fuck. Oh no, I can't send a message. I need to follow for at least 10 minutes. Oh well. I was gonna send a little chat. Next time, I guess. Very nice. Okay, so raid is done. If I end the stream, does my stream does it keep showing their stream, or I don't know how it works. I think there's a different name for that though. I don't know. I guess I can just end the stream and it stays. I don't know. 2014. Oh my god. Alright, but yeah, I'm in this. I gotta. I'm gonna go chill a bit. I don't know. I'm definitely not gonna go to sleep yet, but yeah. Since I cannot type in their chat yet, tell them hi for me, please. Thanks. That's my only request. Wait. There's my dog again, sorry. Okay. Alright. I'm end the stream here. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. I'll see you next time. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe if not tomorrow, then the day after tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. Drink your water. Eat your foods. And yeah, sleep. Sleep is important. If you don't sleep, I'm coming to your house and I'm I'm hitting you with a fucking hammer and making you sleep, goddammit. Alright, bye.